Imagine living in a warm place with a very low cost of living and no taxes. Sounds perfect, doesn't it? But what is the real story behind those pretty pictures of this certain Caribbean nation? This island has been involved in a lot of polemics. So let's look beyond the postcards and see what living there is really like. We are the Expat, and today we are digging into the true story of living and retiring in Jamaica. Get ready for the pros, the cons, and the real cost of living. Look at this place. It's got beauty, for sure. The beaches, the trees, the waterfalls. They are like something from a dream. But dreams aside, let's talk first about the real positive aspects of this island. First of all, the cost of living is lower. At the end of this video, we'll compare Jamaica with two famous hotspots for expatriates, one in the US and the other in Europe. And you will see how much cheaper it is. But here is a hint. We are talking about a place where a dinner, a 3-course meal, and a decent restaurant for two costs only $45 US. Another positive side of Jamaica is that there is no capital gains taxes, unless very specific circumstances exist, where capital gains are understood as business income. But for these particular situations, a financial advisor can help you. There is also no inheritance tax, meaning that your inheritors will have tax-free access to any equity you purchase on the island. Jamaica is also part of the selected group of countries that have a treaty with the US to reduce double taxation. One more good point is the cheaper private healthcare. Jamaica has a decent network of private clinics that are much more affordable than in the US, so elders can save on their medical expenses. Purchasing real estate in Jamaica is also relatively cheap. On average, real estate prices of similar standards are 52% cheaper in Jamaica than in the US. With all these positive sides, you may be asking, why not live there then? Well, now it's time to tell you why, or maybe at least give you the not so beautiful side of living in Jamaica. First, and most important, public safety. With a homicide rate of 52 murders per 100,000 people every year, Jamaica is one of the most dangerous places in the world. The main reasons are the high gang violence and drug trafficking rates. If you're considering living there, get advice from a local first to avoid these areas and reduce your risks. Jamaica is more violent than even the most violent cities in Europe. Check our video about them, you will be surprised. The lack of job opportunities in some parts of the country also means that some people will try to exploit foreigners by charging exorbitant prices for some services. Infrastructure. Well, the infrastructure in Jamaica is not up to par with the rest of the world. You will find that many roads are in disrepair, there are power outages, and public transportation is limited to a few bus schedules. If you want to get around quickly, you will need a car or take a taxi. The roads, the water, the electricity, they might not be as reliable as you are used to. And if you need a doctor or a hospital, they might not be as close or as ready as you would like. Lastly, Jamaica is a tropical country, so it's prone to hurricanes. Unfortunately, these storms can cause significant damage and be very disruptive. But now time to the most interesting part of our video. However, before we begin, I would like to ask a small favor. If you enjoyed this episode, please hit the like and subscribe buttons. And now that you know the pros and understand the cons, you might be thinking that this island might just be the place for you. But how much does it cost to retire or to live in Jamaica? First things first, let's talk numbers. A couple with income from abroad, pensioners or remote workers for example, can live comfortably in Jamaica for about $2,500 per month. I'm not meaning luxury here, but a comfortable, simple life, and this includes your rent, utilities, food, and transportation. But before you start packing your bags, it's important to note that costs can vary. It all depends on where you choose to live and your lifestyle. Want a private beach and upscale living? That will cost extra, much more. Let's check some other costs. We won't compare Jamaica to New York or London because, let's be honest, almost anywhere else is more affordable. Instead, let's look at Valencia in Spain and Tampa in Florida. A meal in a Jamaican budget restaurant is around $7, while in Valencia it's about $14 and in Tampa it's $23. A trip to the doctor, a haircut, or almost anything related to services will also be cheaper in Jamaica than in Valencia or Florida. But what about housing? Renting a one-bedroom in the heart of Kingston will set you back around $691, while in Spain it will cost close to $800, and in Tampa, more than $2,000. Let's put things into perspective. Jamaica is pricier than retiring Argentina or Peru, two other countries that we have covered in other videos, but it's way cheaper than France or Florida, for example. And Jamaica's proximity to the United States is a big plus for many. It will make it much easier for your relatives and friends to visit you. But if you're looking for an even cheaper place that is way less violent and almost as close to the US, check out this video we prepared about a country that reduced its violence number by 82%. It's just unbelievable. You must watch it.